How's it going, everybody? HoodlaMutt here, back with some more Steins Gate. And last time, man, it just keeps escalating. This time we actually had some pretty interesting stuff happen. We, after switching the world line from Lukako's girl world line to the boy world line again, we had an epiphany that Moeka might suddenly be involved. Who would have thought? Dummy. And we went to go figure out where she was. We checked with her work, which took us to her apartment, where we found that she killed herself. Now, we never checked to see if she was in there. We just kind of assumed that it happened, but it seems throughout the course of last episode that she probably did, because we time-leapt back to an earlier time before she killed herself, went to her apartment, found her lying on the floor outside of her apartment window or something like that, or maybe it was like right next to the window, something like that, I forget. I think it was actually out on the balcony, and we had to try to wrestle her phone away from her. We did. We tried to send a D-mail for what we thought she changed, and realized that she didn't change what we thought, because lo and behold, why would she try to change phones? That makes no sense, and why that would make such a big divergence makes more sense that it had to do with the IBM 5100, which we did eventually find out after fighting with Moeka in a rather heated battle, and pinning her to the ground for a long period of time until we wore her out physically, mentally, and emotionally. We also found out through our course of, battling with her, that FB, which is the person that she's obsessed with and must, have contact with, which is why she wants her phone so bad, is a woman, whom I am assuming might be future Kuretsu, but we don't really know as of now. It's just an assumption. I don't know what FB could stand for. But we now have that information, and now we know that the D-mail she sent was to find out the location of the IBM 5100. She sent that to herself in the past so that she could go find it and take that IBM 5100 to a coin locker, the same one from the other timeline and or world line, and we still don't have it now, but we know how we can cancel it. So, without further ado, let's get into this episode. I take Moeka's phone out of my pocket. I'm using your phone. Moeka slowly gets up. She wipes her tears and fixes her hair and clothes. Her wavy hair obscures her face from this angle, so I can't make out her expression. She doesn't react to what I said. Even though I'm no longer restraining her, she doesn't try to attack me and take back her phone. Interesting. I open Moeka's mailbox and search for the D-mail. It takes about 3 minutes, but I finally find it. 3 mails from Moeka's own phone, each 12 characters long, sent on August 4th and received on July 31st. Retro PCs at Yanabayashi Shrine. Just as I suspected, Moeka changed her D-mail in the few seconds I had my back turned. All I need to do now is send the cancellation D-mail. Okabe? You at the lab? Don't worry me like that, idiot. What? Were you worried about me? I mean, you set off an obvious death flag. I'm surprised you're still alive. Where are you now? I'm standing by at the lab. Set up the machine. I'm sending another D-mail. Destination? July 31st, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. on the 31st. While Kurutsu calculates the hours, I type the mail. Do not go, not shrine, it's a trap. It says, do not go, not shrine, it's a trap. I address the mail to the phone wave name subject to change. Okay, all set. Alright, activate it. Activated. I press the send button. The mail starts sending. Reading Steiner should activate. This time for sure. I brace myself for the incoming vertigo. Well? Nothing. Why won't it change? Another mistake? No, there's no way. I know what Moika's message said. This D-mail should have canceled it. Why isn't it working? What the heck's wrong this time? What did the first email say? That the IBM 5100 was at Yanabayashi Shrine. I tried to cancel it by telling her it's a trap, but it didn't work. Maybe she didn't believe it? Or like maybe she showed us and then we talked her out of it or something? Because what would she think is a trap about it? You know, it's like, she's like the first person that, again, she's like smarter than maybe some of the other people that we've been messaging have been. So we might need to try a different tactic. Either that or it really just, that isn't what she sent. I don't know. I'll try to phrase it differently. Wait. We went through this with the Lotto 6 experiment, remember? The Lotto 6 experiment. I sent myself the winning numbers, but the past me didn't buy the ticket. Instead, he gave the winning numbers to Lukaku. The person who reads the D-mail chooses whether or not to act accordingly. Kuryu learned that the IBM 5100 was at the shrine. Though the cancellation mail came right afterward, I guess she ignored it and went anyway. Maybe she didn't believe the cancellation mail. Or maybe she was so diligent she decided to check it out even when I told her not to. I glance at Moika. She's still hanging her head, but her tears have run dry. I wonder if she's listening. Darn! Even when it was too risky to go to the shrine, she went anyway. I mean, it just says it's a trap, right? I mean, is that really risky? Like, you don't know who sent it, right? Although it was from her phone, so I don't know. But see, she's a CERN agent, so she knows about time. She knows how this works. You know, it's like this isn't new stuff to her. You know, where someone else would be thinking that time travel doesn't exist, she might be thinking that someone's trying to stop her. It's possible, you know. So, question is, what's the answer? We need a more persuasive message, something that will prevent her from going to the shrine. Act as though you're FB. Easy. Act as though you're FB somehow. Like what? That's the problem. Is it possible to persuade her with just 36 bytes of text? Or should we consider other possibilities? What if I send a D-mail to myself on July 30th? Could I beat her to the IBM 5100? Oh! Okay! Were you even interested in the IBM 5100 then? I thought we were, weren't we? Were we not? When did I start caring about the IBM 5100? I can't remember. Yeah, neither can I actually. I thought it was before that though. Fine. That's out. So how do I convince Moika to listen? At that moment, an electric shock runs through my brain. 2 initials. Exactly. FB. What? Moika's handler. She's obsessed with FB. If the mail comes from FB, she'll do whatever it says. Do you have FB's phone? No. They haven't even met. We don't know where FB is. Then there's nothing we can do. Give me a little time. Gonna make me wait again? Well, I've been pulling all-nighters recently, so whatever. Just don't do anything stupid, okay? So even after prying answers out of Moika, there's still more work to be done. Fate really seems to love getting in my way. Alright. To break out of this world line, I need FB's identity and location. I call Moika's name. When she finally looks up, I drop her phone into her lap. She accepts it with a confused expression. Looks like we're searching for FB now. Moika grips her phone, but she doesn't look at the screen. I sigh deeply. I need to get as much information on FB out of her as I can. How exactly did you become a rounder? Honestly, I couldn't care less. I hate having to stand here and talk with the woman who killed Mayuri. Hugging her phone to her chest, Moika retrieves her glasses and puts them back on. 4 years ago, I had tried to kill myself. That checks out, I guess. Her voice is a barely audible whisper. For a moment, I'm surprised she's not talking by mail. I had no hope. I wanted to get away from everything. Why? No big reason. Her expression is blank, lifeless, like always. But behind her glasses, her eyes are red from crying. They are the only trace of emotion on her doll-like face. Little things. Lots of little things. Piled up. Whew. That's pretty real. I've always been like this. And your family? Moika shakes her head a little. She has none, I guess. I don't bother asking whether she ever had parents. It doesn't really matter. I locked myself in my room and overdosed on sleeping pills. But I didn't die. Afterwards, I got a mail. Recruiting rounders, it said. It was sent to hundreds of people, not just me. Isn't that spam? Do the rounders really recruit like that? Nothing mattered anymore. So on a whim, I replied. And then, FB contacted me. Ever since, I've followed FB's orders. Were you always stationed in Akaba? Moika shakes her head. Until 3 months ago, I was in Nagoya. Before that, Yokohama. Before that, the Rounder's chief duty is to acquire IBM 5100s. I guess they had her traveling all over Japan, digging up info on retro PCs. How many IBM 5100s have you found so far? Not even one. No results? This sounds like CERN is spending a lot of effort for not much return. I sighed deeply once again. Well, if they had multiple people doing it, then, maybe it wasn't just her, right? So maybe other people just beat her to it. Yeah, I don't know. So what now? Are you going to sit here, wallowing in despair until you kill yourself 4 days from now? Or do you want to rebel against fate?
Rebel?
Even as I ask the question, I know that for her, rebellion is impossible. This world line has already approved her death. She's in the same situation as Mayuri. No matter what she does, she will die. I know that, and yet I ask the question. FB used you and threw you away. Accept it. And then ask yourself what you're going to do about it. Moeka looks down.
Even if FB did use me, that was the only place I belonged. That was the first time in my entire life that I was needed.
Yo, that's like really sad, yo. What the heck?
FB gave me purpose. To protect that purpose, to protect FB, I would do anything.
You're beyond hope. I stand up. Drown in your dependence for all I care. Your death has already been decided. But I won't let fate have its way. I'm rebelling to the end. No matter what, I will save Mayuri. Just a little bit more. I can't give up now. It's midnight, and Akaba is practically empty. The silence is eerie. There's no sign of anyone near the coin locker. Considering the IBM 5100's size, it couldn't fit in the regular-sized lockers. She must have put it in one of the 3 large lockers on the right. The light's on! The bottom locker is still in use. Is the IBM 5100 inside? My heart starts pounding in my chest. I feel my face grow hot with excitement. We've been apart for too long. Far too long, my partner. But now, only a thin locker door separates us. Is this what love feels like? Well, let's not go crazy. I force myself to consider the situation calmly. Is the IBM 5100 really inside? I want to check right this instant. I can't believe I forgot to ask Moeka which locker she used. Should I get a crowbar or something to pry the locker open? If the IBM 5100 really is inside, and I steal it, what will happen to the world line? I have yet to cancel all of the D-mails, which I thought was the only way to restore the original world line. But now the IBM 5100's so close, why can't I just reach out and take it? I know how to cancel Moeka's D-mail, so I can always do that if this doesn't work. Let's try it, just to make sure. First, I make a quick visit to the lab. Ignoring the complaints of the lab MEMs, who stayed awake in the lab all night, I retrieve a makeshift crowbar from the development room. Then I return to the lockers and thrust the pointed tip of the crowbar into the crack of the door. Oh, they just had a crowbar lying around? Shoot, you could have used that as a weapon, bro. It's not really good against guns, I guess, but still. Oh, frick! Just as I begin to pry, A shrill siren shatters the night. I look up to see the red lights of a patrol car coming this way. Their timing couldn't be worse. The police release me after about 30 minutes of scolding. I return to the coin locker and try to pry it open again. Immediately, another patrol car appears. This time, they take me to the police station. I'm stuck in an interrogation room all night, getting preached to by policemen. I conclude that this is another effect of attractor field convergence. No matter what I do, I cannot obtain an IBN 5100 on this world line. That is what fate has decreed. Interesting. I get the police to call my father, and they finally release me. They didn't go so far as to arrest me, but the policemen, as well as my father, scold me harshly. I act apologetic, but in actuality, their words fall on deaf ears. After my father goes home, I head straight to Moika's apartment. I tried calling her. I took the opportunity to memorize her phone number yesterday, but she wouldn't pick up at all. Before I get there, I send a D-mail to Daru asking him to check if the coin locker is still occupied. The door to Moika's apartment is unlocked. I find Moika hugging her knees in the corner, just like she was when I first found her. You put the IBN 5100 in the bottom right locker, correct?
How?
Daru? Found it. Checked. The big locker on the lower right is in use. What's this about anyway? Don't make me your errand boy so early in the morning, fool. Okay. Oops. There we go. Out of all the lockers, only 3 could hold the IBM 5100. Out of those 3, only the bottom one was in use. If that's the one you used, then FB hasn't picked it up yet. Do you know what that means? Well, that doesn't mean that someone else didn't come and put something else in there, right? They took it out, someone else rented out the locker. I mean, that's very possible, dude. Moika frowns. It means that if we stake out the locker, you'll get to meet FB. Not necessarily. FB's like the head honcho, right? It would be someone else, like a henchman, right? No evil villain goes to the place themselves usually if they have henchmen. You know, they always got people doing their dirty work for them. Little minions, you know? I mean, I doubt it, but hey, maybe. It's our only shot, I guess. It hadn't occurred to you? Some secret agent you are. I'm headed there now. You coming?
What will you do if you meet her?
Borrow her phone. That's the best way to prevent Moika from going to Yanabayashi Shrine.
I can't meet her. I'm too afraid. The real me could never live up to her expectations.
Something tells me her expectations were never that high to begin with. Moika's face contorts again. Gosh darn, dude, he's being like savage now, bro. She's kind of suicidal. I mean, I know she killed Mayuri in a different world line, but like, I don't know. I mean, she's definitely super chill right now, so. I'm being blunt. Not only because Moika is Mayuri's murderer, but also because Moika's weakness is starting to get on my nerves. Just like Daru's mail said, the locker is still occupied when I get there. I look around to make sure that there are no patrol cars. No crowbars this time. I don't feel like getting arrested. Oops! I head across the street to Daibaru, hide behind one of its humongous pillars, and begin the stakeout. Okay. Oh, my legs are getting tired. I was going to borrow Mayety's portable game console, but I decided I didn't need the distraction. Playing video games, waiting for a supervillain to come. That's a fun image. Still, it's pretty tough to keep standing like this. I also need to stay inconspicuous. Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. Someone might notice if they see me standing in the same place for hours. I wouldn't want a security guard to give me trouble. I mean, I guess there's not much worry about that. I've already been here for 7 hours without incident. Oh, my legs are numb, so I squat and lean against the pillar. So hungry. I'd love to go get some food, but I can't take my eyes off the locker. Just then, somebody taps me on the shoulder. FB? I try to leap to my feet, but my legs get tangled and I fall over. Up. Moeka is standing there, looking down at me with those glassy eyes. What are you doing here?
I'll keep watch too. Is that okay?
Why the change of heart? I stand up and dust off my clothes. You were comfortable with your male-only relationship, weren't you? I thought you wanted to maintain that distance. So what made you decide to risk a meeting?
At this rate.
Moeka puts her head on her knees. She looks ready to cry. I've seen that expression once before, in her moonlit apartment.
If I lose contact with FB, I'll lose my connection.
To the world? Moeka nods faintly. You can't bear to be alone yourself, yet you'd end an innocent girl's life because some person you've never met told you to. A cultist. That's what you are. You're not wrong. And her cult leader, FB, abused her weakness before throwing her out like old clothes. It ticks me off. FB's cruelty, Moeka's weakness. I can't decide which I hate more. Then, Moeka nervously brings out a convenience store bag. What's this? Instead of answering, Moeka looks away. Did she buy us food? I look inside. Whoa! Milk and bean buns? Exactly what you need on a stakeout. There's enough for two. You brought this for me? Moeka nods. Very well. You may join the stakeout. Now we can take turns watching, and we'll also look less suspicious to passers-by. See, this was kind of the thing, right? Like, now that we kind of know her relationship with CERN, see, I thought she was like this big, CERN agent, like, deep in, but she's not. She's just a normal person. So, like, as a rounder, she's just like a little runner, if you will. But like she was just like a little rounder. Like, I guess I thought rounders were gonna be more like pertinent to like the main people of CERN, but they're not. They're just like little henchmen. That's all she was. So she just got recruited via spam mail, I guess. And because she was so depressed and needed purpose in her life, she just went with it. So it's like she's not really like bad to the bone or anything like that. She's just depressed. Which is sad. Yeah, way to make me at least feel kind of bad for her, though, The night draws on, and still no sign of FB. We nap in 1-hour shifts, but it doesn't help the exhaustion. On top of that, I don't have anyone to talk to. Moeka can't keep a conversation going, so there's nothing I can do to stave off boredom. I went back to the lab to shower just before dawn, but Kuritsu, who was working an all-nighter on the time leap machine, just glared at me. The wait finally ends at just after 1 p.m. on the 13th. Okay. Someone comes to open the lower right locker. We watch from behind the pillar. It's a nondescript middle-aged man. He's dressed in a new suit, but it hangs rather poorly on him, as if he's not used to wearing it. I bet it's just something else, like they already picked it up. Is that FB? Moeka shakes her head firmly.
FB is a woman.
So, maybe she hired someone to pick it up? Or it could be someone from the locker company here to clear it after weeks overdue. That would make us all idiots. Moeka, FB, and me. The man has the key to the locker. He pays the late fee with 100 yen coins, then removes the cardboard box with the IBM 5100 inside. The man thought ahead and brought a pushcart. He puts the IBM 5100 onto the pushcart with a bit of effort and begins walking away. Follow him! The man heads straight for Akahibara Station. Strangely enough, he walks up to an overweight man standing in front of the ticket machine. The overweight man is wearing a t-shirt and has all the signs of an otaku. He doesn't seem to have anything in common with the first guy, who looks like an average salaryman. They transfer the IBM 5100 into the overweight man's suitcase. After they exchange a few words, the overweight man enters the station alone. Then the guy in the suit leaves. Weird. What was the purpose of that transfer? Is the overweight man FB? Or is he just another link in some kind of chain? At any rate, if we keep following the IBM 5100, we should reach FB eventually. We enter the station. Okay. The overweight man boards the Yamanote line. We board on the next car and keep watch through the connecting door. It's a weekday afternoon, so there aren't many passengers. 30 minutes later, we arrive at Shinjuku Station. Here, the train sees a sharp increase in passenger traffic. Oh, we're gonna lose him.
He's getting off.
Moeka pulls on my sleeve. The overweight man has slipped into the stream of departing passengers. He's about to exit onto the platform. We follow him, but due to our slow reaction, we have to push our way through the boarding passengers. The train doors close, and it slowly departs. The man starts walking towards the exit. Shinjuku is crowded, so we have to follow close behind or we'll lose him. But then I stop in my tracks. What? The man is empty-handed. His suitcase is missing. What? For a second, I think we followed the wrong man, but no, it's definitely him. We watched him the whole time he was on the train. There's no doubt he had the suitcase when the train arrived in Shinjuku. He must have left it. Either that or passed it off, like, discreetly, right? Could he have passed it to someone else in this crowd? Clever. They know how to lose a tail. How'd they know we were following? Oh, shoot! I return to the lab and leap an hour back. I find myself inside the train. I know it's bad manners to use my phone on the train, but this is an emergency. According to the train's display, we're about to leave Otsuka for Ikebukuro. 3 stops to Shinjuku. Moeka is next to me, acting inconspicuous. I peek at the overweight man in the next car. They'll make their move at Shinjuku. That guy's gonna get off, but he actually hands the package to someone else. He got us good just now.
Just now?
Doesn't look like Moeka's caught on yet. I just time leaped from an hour in the future.
Time leaped?
Moeka's eyes widen. The train arrives at Shinjuku on schedule. Just to make sure, I'll have Moeka follow the man when he gets off. Before the doors open, I stealthily move to his car. He still has the suitcase with the IBM 5100.
Now arriving at Shinjuku.
The doors open and passengers spew out. The overweight man leaves too, just like last time. However, I knew it! He leaves the suitcase on the train. I thought he did, yeah. And now passengers from Shinjuku board. Someone walks up to the abandoned suitcase. It's a woman in her 30s pushing a baby stroller. There's no baby. The woman casually loads the suitcase into her stroller and sits down. After witnessing that scene, I return to the neighboring car. I need to be careful. These guys are serious about avoiding pursuit. The train starts moving. I contact Moeka so we can regroup later. After that incident, the package swaps couriers like a hot potato, snaking around the tracks that run through Tokyo like a web. Whenever they give me the slip, I time leap and resume the chase. Finally, the courier and package get aboard the Hibiya line and return to Akihabara Station, where it all began. Man, he's time-leapt like a ton then. I recognize the last courier. He's one of the men who raided the lab with Moeka. Dark skin, crew cut, the one who hit me with his gun. The man easily carries the 25-kilo package out of the station. We follow. A car honks its horn. Moeka and I immediately hide. Peering out from cover, I see a white flatbed parked in front of the station. A muscular man hops out of the driver's seat. What? No! No! What? Wait, is it a CRT? Is it just a CRT? No, it can't be. Don't do this to me. Don't make it Tenoji, dude. Not Tenoji. No. No, don't do this to me. Oh, no, not Tenoji. No, what? I know that face. No. It can't be. I desperately try to organize my thoughts. That's Tenoji Yugo, owner of the Braun Tube Workshop. Mr. Braun. Why? Why is he here? Does this mean he's connected to FB? To the Rounders? Was the Braun Tube Workshop just a front for CERN? Is that how he could afford to keep it open? What's going on here? His shop is right below the lab. If he's working for the enemy, then... I shiver at the thought. See, like, it makes sense then that there was a direct line from us to France or whatever so that we could find out and hack CERN or whatever we did, right? That would kind of line up with that maybe, but I don't know. I still feel like that was us from the future making that happen so that we could do that. I don't know. Stop. Let's not rush to conclusions. He might just be another courier. We watch from a distance. Tenoji takes the suitcase from the crew-cut man and loads it into the back seat of his car. Then he gets into the car alone and takes off toward Showadori. I stare after it in disbelief. I time leap several hours to before the first man arrived at the coin locker. Then I explain the situation to Moeka. My plan is to get ahead of the package. After killing some time at Starbucks, we rent a car. I don't have a license, so Moeka drives. We go to the street in front of the roundabout, facing Showadori, and park near Yodobashi Camera. Now we wait. Nervous? You look terrified. How long have you been driving?
First time.
What? This is your first time? Oh, come on. Just don't crash. I was surprised Moeka had a license in the first place. Apparently FB told her it would come in handy for her rounder work. I have Moeka wait in the car while I keep a lookout on the roundabout. The white station wagon's already stopped there. Is he gonna try to, intercept Tenoji? From this distance, I can clearly see Tenoji in the driver's seat. Nobody else is riding. The crew cut guy should arrive just after 5 p.m. As expected, the crew cut man arrives right on time, effortlessly dragging the suitcase behind him. It feels weird seeing the exact same scene from a different angle. I hurry back to the car, where Moeka's waiting. He's coming! The station wagon rolls past us. It takes a left turn at the Showadori intersection, towards Okachimachi. Moeka smoothly sets the car in motion. Finally, we arrive at Tenoji's house in Okachimachi. This is the house where Suzuha lived. Her rusty old mountain bike is still sitting out front. Tenoji brings the IBM 5100 inside. What if it's just a CRT, dude? We stop a little farther down the road and keep watch.
What does this mean? Where is FB?
The question is, why did he bring it inside? Is he just holding on to it? Or is he FB? Does he know FB? Moeka insists that FB is a woman. So maybe it's Tenoji's wife, whom I've never met. I have Moeka show me one of FB's mails. Sorry for not being useful. M4. It's true that you're not very good with people, but I think that that's just part of what makes you unique and special. Besides, you have no trouble talking to me, do you? Honestly, M4, there's nobody else who works as hard as you do. I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad you joined the Rounders. Even if nobody else values you, I'll always look out for you. Feel free to email me whenever you like. Oh yes, since you're finally in Nagoya, you should try some of the local delicacies. It's not good for your health to keep eating convenience store food. Or do you not like miso, M4? In any case, a girl your age needs to eat better. I recommend the firm miso stew. Your next mission is to go to Akahibara in Tokyo to find an apartment by next week. I deposited a special bonus in your account, so feel free to use it. Talk to you soon. Your mother, FB. Oh. So all she knows is your mother. So we don't, I guess we don't really know, right? Interesting. But let's say it was Kuretsu, right? That would make sense why she gets killed, because then I immediately thought, I'm like, what if we're the ones that kill Kuretsu, right? From the very beginning, she got bopped in the head. What if we're the ones that bop her in the head? And then she gets, like, sent back to that time or something. Or maybe she's just stored in there, I don't know. But, like... But, see, no, that was when she was younger, though. We didn't say that she was older. So I don't know. I don't know. This is interesting. She's kept a lot of mails archived like this one.
M4 is my code name. FB gave it to me.
Moeka's a mail machine. She sent FB nearly 10 mails a day, but FB replied to every single one. You'd have to be a saint to reply to all those emails. No wonder Moeka was so dependent on FB. So, time for another stakeout. I have Daru set up a wireless infrared camera on the telephone pole down the street. What? We just have one of those lying around? Okay. We park a couple blocks away and watch the video feed. The next day, Tennoji goes to work on his moped like usual. He returns after sunset. There's no sign of his daughter, Nay, or his wife. Something finally happens early Sunday morning. Just before 3 a.m., 6 people show up at Tennoji's house. It's them! It's dark, but I recognize them. Oh no. They're the Rounders who raided the lab with Moeka. Moeka doesn't show much of a reaction. I thought she knew them. I ask, but she says she's never met them before. It looks like this world line's Moeka has been cut off completely. Interesting, so maybe she got higher up in rank in the other world lines or something, and that's why she was there to kill Mayuri? Would she not have been there then? She wouldn't have been there, because she killed herself. So if we would have waited to see if Mayuri dies, like, to see if they come and take the time machine, then Moeka wouldn't have been with them, right? Dang. Were they done with her once she found them in IBN 5100? Tennoji comes outside and loads the IBN 5100 onto the station wagon. Then the 6 men get in and drive away. Tennoji sees them off, then goes back inside his house.
What now?
I'm interested in Tennoji's story, but the IBN 5100 will lead us to FB. We decide to follow the station wagon. The pursuit ends at Narita International Airport. Oh crap. The 6 men, IBM 5100 in tow, board a plane headed for France. Yep, makes sense. France. CERN's home country. What does this mean? Tennoji's wife might be FB. And that's kind of a big stretch. Maybe he's just part of it. Maybe he's a rounder too secretly. Since there's been no sign of FB this far, she must be an extremely cautious individual. But the evidence suggests only one possibility. On World Line Alpha 1, Moeka's men attacked the night the time leap machine was completed. Their timing was perfect. It makes sense if you assume that Tennoji is closely linked to FB. He was right downstairs the whole time we were discussing our plans. FB knew exactly what we were up to. We were dancing to her tune all along. It still feels like a stretch, though. That's still, like, everything feels like a stretch when he's made a bunch of, like, stretch ideas, I feel like, but just in general. When we get back to Akaba, Moeka and I start walking towards Tennoji's house. But on the way, I get an angry call from Kuretsu demanding an update, so I decide to take care of that first. Alright, let's check this first. Mayuri? Orion. I saw Orion last night. It was really pretty. Oh, not Orion. Orion, right? As in the constellation. I hope you were looking up at the same time, because then it would be like we were close by, even if we were really far away. Stars are romantic, if you think like that, aren't they? Yeah, I saw it too. First night in a while. I've had time to look at the stars, but I don't think it was Orion. That's a winter constellation. Okay. Kuretsu sighs when she sees me. I thought I asked you to keep me posted. I've been busy. Busy. Right. Kuretsu glances at Moeka. Were you worried about me?
Of course not. Why should I care what you're up to? It's just, Mayuri was really worried. I don't want to see her sad. So, at least give her a call, okay?
Now that she mentions it, it feels like I haven't talked to Mayuri in forever. I'm doing this to save Mayuri. I'm close to discovering our true enemy.
Our enemy? But...
I just had an epiphany! Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, it just hit me like lightning. What if? Remember Nei pushes Mayuri? What if it really is Tenoji's wife, and Tenoji's wife told Nei to do that? What if she told Nei to shove her at the train station or something? Yo, what if? Because that was random, right? She just appeared there. And I'm like, it has to be a CERN thing? What if? Oh no. Yo, that's crazy. It still is like a long stretch in like logic of saying like, why would it be Tenoji's wife and not any of the other people? You know, like why wouldn't it be the crew cut hairs guy or the middle-aged man's guy or something like that? I mean it's not like the end place of the IBM 5100, assuming that's what's in the box, was at Tenoji's house. They took it away, the 6 dudes or whatever that break into our place. So like, I don't know, it's still a stretch, but I mean, I just thought about that with Nei. Yo. Okay. Kuretsu glances at Moeka again. Moeka is completely expressionless. She's lightly kicking the dirt in boredom. She hasn't used her phone once since we began the search for FB. She growing.
Isn't she our enemy?
She is an enemy, but we're cooperating in order to uncover the truth.
Isn't she the one who killed Mayuri?
Yes. However, Moeka's just a pawn, and one that no longer poses a threat. To save Mayuri, I need to capture the king. Well, the king's cell phone.
Whatever. So where are you going now? Take me with you.
Have you gone mad, assistant mine?
I'm perfectly sane, and I'm not your assistant.
It could be dangerous.
Huh?
Kuretsu falters for a moment, but quickly tightens her expression.
Do I die today?
I've experienced the future, so I know who dies today. No, you don't die.
Then there's no problem. This world line has essentially guaranteed my survival.
Right. Kuretsu doesn't die today. Neither does Mayuri. The only person who dies today is Kiryu Moeka. This afternoon, she kills herself. I've already told Moeka her fate. But in spite of that, Moeka doesn't seem upset. At least on the surface. She's expressionless as always. The only difference is that she's not checking her phone as often. But Moeka's not a strong woman. Beneath that expressionless mask, is she struggling against the fear of death? I decide to confront Tanoji directly. Oh, okay. I have Kuretsu stand guard outside the house while Moeka and I go inside. Not that we're planning to break in. We ring the doorbell like honest citizens. Tanoji soon opens the door and invites us into the living room. The divergence meter is sitting in its usual spot. I glance at the numbers. Yep, that 5 got added. 0.523307. There's still a long way to go before I reach 1%. How much more of this can I take? Make yourselves at home! It's just after dawn, much too early for guests, but Tanoji welcomes us with a smile. He even starts preparing some instant coffee. You're an early riser, Mr. Braun. Yeah. Gotta see my little girl off to school. I know it's summer break, but habits die hard. Is your daughter still asleep? Hey, you thinking of trying something while she's sleeping? Touch her and I'll break your head. Got it? Don't worry. I'm more interested in his wife. There's still no sign of her. Is she asleep too? Or could she be hiding somewhere? Yeah, I mean, we've never met her, right? We've never seen her. She's never been here whenever he's been here, but still, it feels like a stretch. I'd like to do a thorough search of the house, but of course that's impossible. And then there's what he said just now about seeing Nei off to school. That sounded like something a single father would say. I suspected that FB was Tanoji's wife, but that may have been a mistake. Maybe Tanoji is just another courier after all. Maybe he doesn't even know about FB. What if... No, that can't be right. I was gonna say, what if FB was Suzuha, but that feels like a stretch. That's a bigger stretch. There's the possibility that FB might not even be in Akaba. See, the reason I think it could be, though, like the reason that it came to my mind is because they've already given us the possibility that it could be Tanoji's wife, which makes me think it's not Tanoji's wife. It makes me think it's something else because they're trying to lead us away. So it makes me think, maybe it's, someone that we haven't thought of yet, and that would be Suzuha, who has only been a positive model in our mind. So that when the reveal would happen, it would be like, oh no, how could it be Suzuha of all people? Like she's so nice and all this stuff. I just wonder. I'm throwing it out there. I need answers. But how do I get them? Moeka is just staring at the floor. I can't count on her for any bright ideas. And whether or not Tanoji's wife is FB, I don't think this man will fall for any tricks. I decide to go the direct approach. A few hours ago, 6 men stopped by this house to pick up a package, which they then delivered to France. You were there. I saw you. This time, Tanoji doesn't give me his usual macho attitude. He just smiles softly. And? The package contained an IBM 5100. You know what that is, of course. Yeah, The legendary retro PC. This is too easy. He's never this cooperative. Are you just another courier? Or are you a rounder? Instead of answering my question, Tenoji looks straight at Moeka. Did you betray us, M4? Oh no! He really is bad! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Not Mr. Braun! No! No! Oh no, dude! Is that how he's able to keep the Braun Tube Workshop open even though nobody buys CRTs? Oh no! No! And he knew Moeka! What the heck? She didn't say that she knew him? Why? Unless maybe she didn't, maybe he just knew her. Oh, what the heck is this? No! Dude. Moeka jerks upright. M4 is Moeka's code name. Something only FB should know.
No. Are you FB?
Tenoji laughs once. A dry sound. Ever heard of Ferdinand Braun? Oh, what? What? Moeka and I look at each other, confused by the sudden change of topic. Ferdinand Braun, FB. He can't be Ferdinand. Is that his name? Oh, okay. Come on. He was the Nobel Prize winning physicist who invented the Braun tube. But he named his shop after that. Is he FB? He's got to be FB. Tenoji has a thing for Braun tubes. I know that. But what does that have to do with anything? Ferdinand Braun. Initials?
FB!
Oh, he is! Oh, no!